طيب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome to all to the computer networks course, and I hope and I wish you all a very successful and fruitful semester, and I hope that you are all staying safe and sound. This lecture, I'm gonna just cover the syllabus of the course, and to me the syllabus is like the contract between the instructor and the students, and how the course is gonna go from beginning to end. So it's a very important step to agree on all the terms and conditions based on which the course is gonna be structured. So first, my name is Amr Muhammad. I've been in the department since 2007. Before that, I did my master's and PhD in Canada, in University of British Columbia. And my area of specialization is particularly in networking and communication, and more particularly related to wireless networking. The office, my office number, of course, in the mail campus in BCR G223. The office hours are going to be on Sunday and Tuesday from 12 to 1, because I'm teaching from 9 to 12. On Sunday, we're going to be we're going to have the office hour for the female, and on Tuesday, it's going to be for the male students. And both of them are going to be on WebEx, and I'm going to post the link to the WebEx room shortly, inshallah. Of course, if this time does not suit any of you and you want to have a one-to-one meeting at a different time slot, you are welcome to send me an email and we can arrange a specific time in WebEx room to discuss all your issues. The TA is going to be Hiba. Until now, I didn't receive otherwise, so I assume Hiba is going to be, Engineer Hiba is going to be the TA for the course, and I will ask her to post the office hours for the TA very soon, inshallah. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to interrupt me and ask your questions. And I'm going to be talking about class participation later on, which we try to make the class interactive and bi-directional as much as possible. Of course, this course has a lab component, which I will talk about the assessment criteria and how we divided the assessment criteria between the lab and the lecture part. So the textbook, we have, of course, as you might know already, this course covers the CCNA1 material from Cisco certification. So we have the hard copy of the book for CCNA1 available in the library, but also if you go to Blackboard, when it becomes available, inshallah, you will find that this book is actually detailed in an online material that's already available on Blackboard, and the instructions how to download this material and browse the material as you wish. In which case, if you download this online material and you are able to view it and interact with the material, I don't think you will need this book in any way. However, this is listed here for some students who still need some hard copy textbooks to go through. This is the textbook which is available in the library. The main rule is, which is very, very important, I would like to highlight it in the beginning, that whatever is discussed in class, you will be asked to know everything about it. So even if we discuss in class something that's not included in this material, for example, I'm going to be handing some class notes or any other external references, and I will explain the material in this reference, in which case you are asked to know about this material. Anything that we do not cover in class, even if it's included in the material, you are not requested to know anything about it. In other words, the exam is going to be directly from the material that we cover in class and nothing else. Okay, and I'm going to be talking about the method of teaching in this course in a minute. And pay attention to some differences that we have this year as part of teaching method for this course. That's very important. And please mute your mic if you are not planning to say anything, so that we don't have any noise. So please mute your mic. Okay, so any questions, feel free to ask. Okay, so the course learning outcomes are divided into the theory part. The theory part is covered in the first two learning outcomes. So this is for the lecture part. That these two are covered in the يعني they cover the lab part. Sorry, let me just use another color. So this is the lecture, and this is the lab. Okay. So for the lecture part, the lecture material is divided into two major parts. The first part is going to cover the basic concepts of networking. For example, what is the meaning of a network? What does network mean? The formal definition of a network, how we divide the network function. Of course, we have to divide the network function into parts, and these parts we call them layers. So how and why we define the network function into layers? What are these layers? What is the definition of a protocol, which is the main and the major fundamental of networking? And then the second part is going to cover all these protocols in the different layers. So we're going to go through the layers one by one. We have 5 different layers in in TCP/IP stack or in the internet, starting from bottom up. So we have the physical layer, the data link layer, the network layer, the transport layer, and then finally the application layer. So we're going to go through these layers one by one. In each layer, we're going to cover all the protocols, all the major protocols that are standardized in this layer, and how this protocol actually works. So these are the two parts of the lecture. The lab part, in the lab part, you're going to be learning some software tools, and these are very important tools that allows you to troubleshoot a network, build or design a network. So we have Packet Tracer, for example, from Cisco, which allows you to connect routers and switches together and interact with these routers and switches as if you are using these switches in the lab in real life. So you'll be able to submit some commands. You will be able to submit some commands to these routers and switches and interact with them as if they are real routers. Okay, the last one, you're going to be working in groups towards designing a project and troubleshooting a network, and this will be part of the lab. Okay, again, any question, feel free to interrupt and ask questions. This part is related to a bit, so I'm going to skip through it. These are the list of the topics of the course. So chapter 1 here talks about the introduction to network. As I said, what is the meaning of a network? What are the components of a network, and so on. Starting from chapter 3, we're going to be talking about protocols and standards, and then we're going to go through the layers, starting from network access layer, Ethernet, network layer, transport layer, and so on. So we're going to be covering all these layers one by one, and in each layer we will talk about the major protocol in this layer and how it works. This is the most important part of the syllabus, which is the assessment criteria, and I want you to focus here because we have some changes compared to previous years. First, I want to explain the method of teaching in this course. This course is taught using flipped classroom. So how many of you, very quickly, raise your hand if you have some familiarity with flipped classroom? Anyone is familiar with the flipped classroom from before? Okay, so we have 2 people. Okay. So flipped classroom is based on the fact that first I'm going to be posting some videos, and if you go to Blackboard, maybe later on in the afternoon, you will find that I posted a link to what we call lecture, or sorry, it's called, sorry, offline. Sorry about that. I asked the students to mute their mic so we don't have this kind of noise. So you will find a link on Blackboard to what we call offline recordings. Okay, so these offline recordings, you will see that I posted already 3 videos for the lectures of next week, not this week, for next week. So starting from next week, I assume or I expect you to go and watch these videos before the lecture. So the first video, you need to watch it before the lecture on Sunday, and the second video before the lecture on Tuesday, and so on. Or you can watch all the 3 videos at your free time whenever you have any free time. Okay? So the lecture itself is going to be divided into 2 parts. So in part 1, I will have briefing about the material in the video. Okay? And of course, I assume that you have watched the video, so you have some idea about what I'm talking about in this briefing. Okay, and I will talk to you in a minute how I can verify that you have watched the video. Okay, in part 2, we're gonna be talking about activities, or we're gonna go through some activities. Okay, so it's not a traditional way of teaching that course that I have a presentation and I go through it and you listen and there's no interaction. We have to have some kind of bi-directional interaction in the lecture all the time. And that's a way for me to make sure that you can really absorb the material. And if you have any problem, we discover this problem right away. Anyway, so so the assessment criteria is actually designed to match the teaching method. And the way that we did this is that we have here, as you can see, we have a bonus. 5% of the grade are gonna be allocated to class participation and interaction. This part, this bonus, and 5% is significant. This bonus will be used in 2 things. First, I'm gonna be using that bonus to make sure that you have watched the videos. So during the briefing part of the lecture, I'm gonna be posting some questions which you are supposed to answer very easily if you have watched the videos before the lecture. Okay, either I will ask for volunteers to answer the question, or I will actually ask a particular person to have a try on answering this question. If you answer the question correctly and perfectly, you will get 0.5 okay, towards this 5% bonus, which means that if you answer 10 questions throughout the entire course, if you answer 10 questions correctly and perfectly, you will get the 5% bonus already. Okay? Of course, the second reason why we have class participation is because of the online nature of the lectures. If we run this lecture online by someone like me talking all the time, and all of you are muted and not interacting, I have no way of verifying that you are listening to whatever I'm saying. Okay? So if you are listening and focusing on what I'm saying, you will be able to answer these questions correctly, in which case you will gain this bonus. Okay? So I need you to be focused during the lecture. I need you to be attentive and answer the questions that I will post. And if you answer correctly, you will get the bonus. And I'm going to be posting this on Blackboard in real time as we go through the lectures. Okay, so starting from next week, I expect you to watch the videos in the online recordings link. Okay, and try to do that as soon as possible. If you watch the videos, you will come to the class prepared. Maybe you will get maybe 20, 30, 40% understanding of the material. I'm not expecting you to have 100% understanding. We come to the lecture with 30% understanding. In the first part of the lecture, I'm going to go through some briefing. So this will make it maybe 60, 70%. And hopefully with the activities, you will get to 90%, which if you get to this 90% level of understanding, I will be extremely happy. Okay? And that's the idea behind the flipped classroom method. In previous years, اتفضلي يا هيا, if you have any question, feel free to unmute yourself and ask any question. اتفضل. Very good question. Each video, I try to keep it within around 15 minutes. So each video on the average, around 15 minutes, okay? And you have 3 of these videos. I have to highlight here that in previous years, and you can ask students from previous years, in previous years, we used to have the quizzes, 12 quizzes. I used to give an online exam every week. And this is a way for me to verify that you have watched the videos. Okay? Starting from video per one lecture, yes. Yeah, we have one video per lecture. You watch the video, you come to the lecture after you have watched the videos. Okay? So this year, I think it's going to be hard to have 12 online quizzes, especially that I'm not sure if we will have these quizzes in class or I will have it remotely. So I thought it's going to be very hard for us to run 12 quizzes every week, one quiz using remote and online exams. So this is going to be hard. So instead, I have included here only 4 quizzes, 4 to 5 quizzes. Okay, I don't think we get to 6, maybe 4 to 5 quizzes. Okay, and I increase the weights to 20%. So the quizzes are not going to be used to verify that you have watched the videos anymore, which is what happened in previous years. Okay, this year I'm going to be using the class participation to verify that you have watched the videos and to make sure that you are interacting in class. And that's very, very important. If you don't interact in class, the remote learning is not going to work, because I mean, I have no way of verifying that all these names are really focusing on what I'm saying. Okay, so maybe you have connected to the link, but you are watching TV. So I have no way of verifying that you are really listening or focusing on what I'm saying. So if you don't follow when I will ask the question or what the question is, or you cannot answer, do not blame anyone but yourself. You will not gain the bonus, and it's your problem. So try to be attentive, try to focus on what I'm saying, and try to capture the question. Try to be proactive in answering the question. Raise your hand. If I give you the permission to answer the question, you will have the chance to get the bonus. Uh, so so that's the method of teaching. And I spent a lot of time on explaining the flipped classroom method, but this is very important. So going back to the assessment criteria, you will get many chances to answer the question. I have a question from some of you. Whenever I ask the question, either I will ask for volunteers, in which case you will raise your hand, or I may actually select one of you at random, okay, to make sure that he or she is really focusing and listening to the instructions. Okay, I'm not gonna punish you if you don't answer, of course. But if you answer correctly, you will be gaining the bonus grade. And for each question, you get 0.5%, which I think is good. And if you answer 10 questions throughout the course, you get 5% bonus, which is also significant. Okay, so hopefully this will encourage the students to watch the videos and to participate and interact in class, which is very important. What is something else I would like to highlight here, that all the lectures, or I should say most of the lectures, are going to be captured and recorded, okay, and posted on YouTube. And in fact, if you subscribe to my channel, I'm not making publicity for my channel, but if you look at the channel on YouTube, my channel on YouTube, you will find all the courses I have taught in the last 6-7 years posted on YouTube. All the courses, Network 1, Network 2, all the master and PhD courses, everything is posted on YouTube. All the recordings from the previous years of this course are also posted on YouTube. So feel free to browse and listen to anything, listen to any course, listen to any lecture whenever you have any chance. Okay. So I try to record all the lectures and post it on YouTube by the end of the day that we take this lecture. And I ask the students to take this seriously and efficiently, which means that if I find that the attendance in class is very low, assuming that, okay, if I need the material, I can go to YouTube and watch the video at any point of time, okay? If I see the low attendance in class and that students are not interacting at all and they are totally ignoring the instructions of what I'm saying, in that case, I will not post the recording of this lecture on YouTube, to be honest. If I don't record the lecture and put it on YouTube, this means that this particular lecture is very important. So that if the students are taking this seriously, they are attending, they are interacting, they deserve to be, to take the advantage of gaining some points through the bonus, and also, following the material. And if this lecture is not recorded for any reason, they will have the privilege of taking notes. And in the exam, I'm going to be focusing on the material that's not recorded, and I will give these students the privilege to gain more points. In other words, try to take this seriously. Do not take the recordings of the lecture as it's a feature that allows me or not to attend the lecture. Try to attend the lecture, try to interact as much as possible. And in that case, the lecture is going to be recorded, and you will be able to refer to this lecture recording before the exam or at any free time that you have. So I'm going to be covering your question while we go through the assessment. So of course, the lab part is going to be 30% like previous year. Okay. The rest are going to be covered in the theory part. So we have 70% in total. The assignments are going to be 10%, and we're going to have 2 assignments. Okay. Midterm 1 will be close to the 7th or 8th week. We will post the exact date, and we will agree on that exact date, maybe in the 7th or 6th week. Okay. And we have the quizzes. The quizzes, we're going to have 4 to 5 quizzes. I don't think we're going to have 6 quizzes. And these quizzes are going to have 20% in total. Okay. Final exam or midterm 2, we're going to confirm that at some point during the course. The difference is really not that significant. Midterm 2, which means that we will do it maybe before the end of the semester. We're not going to follow the schedule of the university, in which case during the schedule of the university for the final exam, we're going to cancel that. We're not going to have any final exam, but we're going to have a midterm 2 instead. Okay. Or we will have a final exam, in which case we will follow the schedule of the university. We will do the final exam on the exact day that the university announces. And in that case, we will cover possibly slightly more material. And we will discuss in class what material are going to be included in the final exam and the midterm. So the difference is not that major, but the percentage is going to be the same, 20%. Okay, so the midterm 1 and midterm 2 are going to be the same, 20%, 20%, and quizzes are 20%. Okay, and the bonus is going to be over the 100%. So if you get the summation of all of this, you will find that it's 105%. Okay, any questions for the assessment? Any questions? Okay. Okay. So if you want to ask any question, feel free to unmute yourself and so I got a question that if the final exam is gonna cover everything, this we will post or we will announce towards the second part of the course, inshallah. The idea here is that we are not quite sure whether we will have any on-site classes or assessments until now. So we have not been communicated whether we can do any assessment or lectures physically at QU. So depending on how the course is going to go, whether it's fully online, whether the assessments are going to be done on site or not, we will try to give clarity on how the assessments are going to be done, inshallah, very soon, and hopefully way before the assessment itself. So before the assessment itself, we're going to highlight and announce how the assessment is going to be done. So first and foremost, the quizzes are going to be online quizzes, the online but not necessarily remote. Okay, so usually we do the quizzes in class. Okay, and it's proctored. So if that's not possible this semester, we are going to post some instructions on how to take these quizzes remotely. And it's not new, we have done this last semester, and I'm going to send some instructions on how to take this exam remotely. But in any case, quizzes are online for sure, whether it's remote or on-site. The midterm exam, depending on whether we can do the exam on-site or remote. I'm gonna also highlight whether it's online or written exam. Okay, so these details we're gonna have to finalize when we have some clarity from the college and the university on whether we can do some interactive classes on site or assessment on site, or everything is gonna be done remotely. Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? That's a good question. So how many chapters will be covered in this course? The material itself is 11 chapters. Okay, so this is the chapter number. Um, the chapters are 11. However, chapter 2 is going to be totally covered in the lab. So we don't have any lecture part because it covers some cabling and so on. Okay. Chapter 11 also is going to be covered in the lab. So you will find that chapter 1 and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are the chapters that we're going to cover in class. So in total, it's 9 chapters, and these are divided through the weeks as you see here. Okay. Any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and talk if you want. Any other questions? Okay. So I see no other questions. So I wish you all a very successful and fruitful semester, inshallah. And I hope you are staying safe. And starting from Tuesday, you see that I posted on Blackboard the slides for the lecture on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, you are not, I'm not expecting you to watch the offline recordings yet. The offline recordings, we will start it, inshallah, next week, starting from Sunday. Okay. So on Tuesday and Thursday, inshallah, we're gonna go the traditional way. So I'm gonna go through the slides and we will cover chapter 1 only. Okay, so chapter 1, I'm gonna go through some introduction and a presentation on introduction to networks. And then on Sunday, inshallah, on week 2, okay, on Sunday, we're gonna start chapter 3, which you will find it covered in the first video, which is posted on the offline recordings on Blackboard. Okay, so see you all inshallah on Tuesday.